When a parent died, usually the father, someone was appointed to be the guardian of the minor children. These guardianship records will give you the child or children's names. Sometimes it will tell who their father was, and sometimes the mother is listed if she is still alive. This video will show you examples of guardianship records and then show you how to find these records in Family Search. This guardianship for the children of John Craddock, who died before October of 1799. We see that the account is with Mary Bumpus. Mary is the widow of John Craddock and has remarried by 1799. The guardianship is for the following children: Priscilla, Judah, Sarah, Francis, and Nathaniel. From these guardianship records, we don't learn the death of the children, but we learn that the father has died by the time of this guardianship. And sometimes if the wife is not there, you know that they have both deceased by the time of the guardianship. 1 year later, in October of 1800, there is another accounting of the guardianship for John Craddock's children. All of his children in the previous count are also listed in this record: Priscilla, Judah, Sarah, Francis, and Nathaniel. From the sources in Family Search, we can see that there were guardianship records for the children of John Craddock in 1797, 1798, 1799, and 1800. If you find one record, continue to search, because it is very common that there is more than one record when it comes to these guardianship records. This guardianship is for the children of William Corbin. He died before the 19th of October, 1796. Not only do we have a source to show that William Corbin died before 1796, but we get his children's names and their birth dates. Jamison Corbin, born June 9th, 1788. Thompson Corbin, born May 19th, 1791. And Polly Corbin, born February 28th, 1794. You never know what you will find in these guardianship records. I'm going to show you a little bit about the guardianship records, how to find them, and give you an example of one that helped me with part of my family. So I'm going to go to search. This is in Family Search. Go to search and go to catalog. And then I'm going to type in Pennsylvania, Virginia. That's where I do a lot of my research. I click online. I say search. I'm going to come down here to the probate records. And I use this one, Accounts Current Inventories. I'm not sure that any of them ever say guardianship, but if you look at accounts and inventories or estates. Anyways, this is the one that I use in Pennsylvania. So I click here, and then there's a whole listing of different records. And we'll see if I can find the one. I believe it was this one right here. I click on the little camera, and it's going to take me to these records. This information is not indexed. You have to look through it. But the book, sometimes these books have indexes, handwritten indexes. So let's look at these first ones, and sure enough, this one has it. I am looking for price, so I need to go a few. We'll just guess this one. Nope, I went too far. So let's go back. Just click each of these. Here we go. Here's the end of it, and here's the piece. So let me make it bigger. So if we look here, we have that says inventory. That's abbreviation for inventory. This is a guardianship. So when you see GDN, account current. So these guardianship records, often there was more than one. And this, when it says account current, they had to go in like every year and account for what was happening with this purchases that they'd made with the money that they had and what money was left in the account. So on the P's, we can see we have 1, 2, 3 guardianship records. And this one says Price, M-A-S and M, I think it's J. It's on page 109. So I have actually looked at this already, and I believe it was, we'll see, image 64. So if I do that and then I hit enter, here it is. This is page 109. If you're not sure, you just have to iconify it and just start looking at it until you get to that page. But I did that beforehand so I didn't have to take so much time. Now we look at it, it says M-A-S and M-J Price. Now let me show you the line that I'm looking at. I'm related to this Samuel Yancey Thompson and Nancy N. Jennings. They have a daughter named Nancy who married a Price. When I look at their children, they have a Thompson Price and a Lucy Coleman, and I did not have all of their children on here, but this turns out I actually found this. I was going through looking for some other records and saw this and thought, let me see if I can find them. And I did a find. I searched. Let me show you how I did it. So family search, and I did find. And I believe it says on the record Martha, right there. Martha A.S. So I typed in Martha A.S. Price, and I probably put, well, her mother is Lucy, and I don't know Lucy's, well, I do know it's Coleman, but I didn't know that when I was looking at the record. But I can put in residence, Pennsylvania, and this is about, the records I'm looking at is around 1834. So let me put down 1825 to 1850. We'll see if she comes up. And there she is. There's Lucy Coleman. So this is the family, Thompson Price and Lucy Coleman. I am not sure why the male is down here and the female up there. I'll have to look at that. Oh, that one's that way too. I thought the male was always listed on the bottom, but maybe not. Anyways, so here she is. I found her, and I can click on her person. We'll go to her page. So there is the guardianship, one of the guardianship records for that. It says Lucy Price, guardian of Martha A.S. and Mary J. Price. So let's look at her siblings. There's Mary Jane. And there's also Susan, but I don't think, her father died in 1827 and Susan was born 1828. So I don't think there is a Susan. It's just for these two. So I'm not sure where that Susan came in. But it tells us here, to cash received of William Price, administrator of Thompson Price. So there is her father, Thompson Price, and her mother is Lucy. And then you can read through this, these accounts. And let me go through. And that's the end of this right here. It comes here. So this was for both of these sisters, and there was no Susan. So I don't know if there was a Susan that the mother had, gave birth, she was pregnant when her husband died, gave birth to a Susan, and she died afterwards. But this is in 1835, February 1835, and there is no Susan listed. It's just these two girls. So that's how I found that family, and then to attach that, I wanted to attach it to their family, which I had already done. you just say attached to, and then you can put in here, I would have said maybe guardianship. Oops. Guardianship of Martha and what was her sister's name? Mary. Whoops. And Mary Price. And then I would say select the person, and she comes up, and it does not show her being, this record being attached. I thought I had attached this. So I will say Martha, Ann, and then come down and, well, let's say next, and I will attach it to Martha. So that's how you do it. I didn't realize I didn't have that attached, so you saw how that worked. Anyways, that's how I found them. I am going to stop for a minute, but then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you that this was a guardianship record that was underneath, and I love these guardianships. So I'm not related to this family, but I went ahead and found the family, and I actually found many of these children in Family Search, but they were not attached to their father. I think I'll just go ahead and continue with it. I don't have all the records up, but I think I can continue. So I have this Frances Ae Lipscomb, and I didn't know who she was, but it says that she is now F.A.E. Gatewood, so she is now married. And so I will go through how I found her. So let me start up here again, find. Frances there she comes, Lipscomb, and her spouse was Gatewood. I knew that much from that record. And I'm just going to do find. I think she comes up. Yep, there she is. So there she was, and she did not have a father. When I first found her, she was not attached to her father. So let me go to her page. And come down. Now let's go back to this record. Whoops, I think it's this one here. Okay. And it tells, here's paid James Gatewood. Paid James Gatewood. Now, I didn't know that that was her husband, but once I found the record, we see that she was married to James Gatewood. So that is who that is in that document. So if this was my family, I would go more carefully through this, look at each of these people, see if there's some kind of relationship to these people. But I believe, it's been a while since I've looked at this record. Somewhere in this record it does say Pleasant, and it's probably, well, see, it has the children, Edward Lipscomb, Susan Lipscomb, it goes through, and James Lipscomb, it goes through each of the children. And I found, I believe it was James and Edward in Family Search. I can't remember exactly which ones, but I think I had to create one of them. It was Susan, and I believe the last child, there was 5 of them, this Labinda Lipscomb. I could not find her, and so I searched, and I went ahead and added, anyways, I added the children that were not there. But it says heirs of Pleasant Lipscomb, so that gave me the father, and I was able to put his name in. I created him, and then with a little bit of searching, I actually found him in Family Search and was able to attach the children to that family. So I just want to give you an idea of what you can find in these guardianship records. You can find the names of the children are always there in those records. And if the mother's still alive, you can often find her name. As in that first one with Martha, her mother's name was Lucy Price was listed, and her father. This one, no mother was listed, so I think both of the parents had passed away. Anyways, they're great records. I hope you can find them. To find these, I actually just started going page by page, and I've been looking for my Thompson line for information and came upon these and found them and was able to attach them. Anyways, I hope that's helpful. I know it's kind of hard to read these records and it's kind of confusing, but if you have the courage, get in and try to find them. See what you can find in the counties that you're in. Thanks for watching. Happy hunting!